Now, this video is largely speculation, and I cannot prove it definitively one way or another. But I'm going to make several assertions during this video. The first assertion is that not all rolls are equal. Sure, during your course of playing Baldur's Gate Early Access, some rolls are just naturally more difficult. A roll, for example, that demands that you roll a 20 is naturally going to be, on average, much more difficult than a roll that demands a 5 or above. And so that usually is calculated into the rolls. When you're thinking about rolling your d20, presumably the idea behind that is different rolls in terms of their importance are either going to be more important or less important. So I'm just making this up right now. If a roll involves bilking a merchant out of a little bit of extra gold, that probably isn't going to be nearly as difficult as a roll that might possibly save your life in some life or death situation. So it's very situational. But I think that's generally the principle as far as I've understood it. However, either this is a bug or there's something else afoot here. Because what you're seeing in this video is not only the repeated rolling of one after one after one, a very, very low probability indeed. And you're not even seeing all the ones I rolled prior before I actually decided to record it. But this particular scene, after you encounter the cultists on the way to the Owlbear Cave, is notorious in my book. Since last year, a year and a half ago, I noticed that these rolls are weighted differently. They almost always roll very low. You get multiple ones when probability would dictate that it's almost impossible. In this case, we're looking at a rate of ones approximating something like 20 times in the course of 10 or 15 minutes, which is a lot compared to other rolls you might think you might get. In addition to many other low rolls, exceedingly rare to get higher rolls. So either this is jinxed or bugged, but what this tells me essentially is that there might be some other hidden mechanic whereby not all the rolls are weighted equally in terms of their outcome. Because I'm telling you, go try this. I might be imagining this, but since last year, I've noticed that this attempt to crush the tadpole, which nets you both experience and approval, which is the reason why I try to do it, and if need be, will save scum, this roll here is totally borked. It took me something like half an hour to 40 minutes, I don't have all the footage here, to actually get the rolls that were required, despite having a few bonuses helping me out. There's something about this roll. So, going forward, it's entirely possible that maybe, just maybe, Larian has different rolls weighted in different ways, and maybe the full game, despite the relative difficulty, say of a 20 or a 19 or an 18 or whatever, might have additional things we're just not aware of, and they make it that much more difficult. Or it's a bug, or I just have some of the worst luck in the world. I wouldn't count out the last option, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. I don't know if you've encountered this particular issue with this particular scene or this particular roll, but it is something that has been recurrent with me. Every time I try this, I have almost never got it done in under 15 minutes because the rolls are just terrible every bloody time. So maybe I'm imagining it, maybe I'm not. As always, thank you for checking out the video. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And I'll check you out next time. Take care.